based on the most recent data, only 3% of African Americans own their business in West Tampa. It's projected that by 2027, the African American community will be reduced by 14+%. This initiative, called the West Tampa Community Development Wealth Building Initiative, creating generational wealth, is to respond to those projections. Keep in mind, these are the projected numbers. So what we do now can determine whether these numbers are going to come to fruition. So let's talk about how do we plan to respond. But before we do that, let's look at the potential. Within 20 minutes of West Tampa, that's over 1 million people, or $1 million+. So the West Tampa Wealth Building Initiative is focused at specifically target groups. Those groups include senior citizens, those with criminal records, the low to moderate income, and at-risk youth as some of our priorities, and then the general community. There are 3 initiatives or projects that we plan to use to bring this to fruition. The first is what we call home-based e-commerce project. Imagine this, all these houses here are businesses. Our home-based e-commerce businesses is focused on creating opportunities for residents to start part and full-time businesses using a home-based approach. The fastest growing market is home-based in e-commerce. The second part of this initiative focuses on providing technical assistance to existing businesses as well as new businesses. And then the third part of this is what's close to me. In the United States, African Americans spend $1.8 trillion a year. We are, in essence, consumers. The third part of this initiative, which is called Investment 101, moves the resident from thinking like a consumer to an investment. It includes anywhere to stocks and bonds, and show people how to make the money work for them by creating what's known as passive income. All 3 of these combinations, plus our larger strategic plan, is put together to address the potential of 14+% of African American being removed from the community. And even more, the 3%, only 3% of African Americans that own business. This is going to be called what we call Black Wall Street Initiative. Go back to the home-based e-commerce project, look at all of these blacks right here, and then you see a Black Wall Street. Now, where do we plan to get funding from? Well, our funding is going to be coming from certainly the federal, state, and local government. Combined with that is foundations and corporations and individuals. We have access to software that we can tie into thousands of funders on both national and international. And then the other thing that we think is going to be a critical tool is what's known as the community community benefit agreement. And this is important because as developer comes, they have to give some type of benefit to the communities. We've used this in the past to create the West Tampa Technology, Wealth Building, and Job Creation Center. And then finally, it's important that we look at how can we use the CRA and other initiatives that can bring money to the community. So we'll be looking at all of those different avenues to meet this current crisis, to intervene and make a difference. For more information about this and our other initiative, please feel free to contact me at the West Tampa CDC at gmail.com. We think that the model we're putting together is a model that can be a best practice model for neighborhoods, African American communities specifically, but as well as brown communities that are poor, on how to create generational wealth.